Hello, we are Ben and Shani, and we thought we would take you along on the next big adventure in our self-built, newly converted campervan Barney. We have probably just found the most epic park up we've ever been to. Wait until you see this. We found this amazing park up on Park for the night, and it was just off Porlock Hill. Would you believe we were 1,140 feet high, taking us up a 25% gradient? Poor old Barney only just made it. On the way to our park up, we stopped in Porlock and grabbed ourselves a takeaway pizza in a fabulous little restaurant called Eduardo's. There was lots of restaurants and little cafes still open, and it is free parking after 6, so it's a really lovely little stop on a Friday night if you are heading that way. We spent the rest of the evening chilling out, eating pizza, having a glass of wine and watching the sunset. Waking up bright and early, we had some visitors that joined us for coffee in the morning. So we are currently in Exmoor National Park. We found an amazing park up last night, which the views were just out of this world. Definitely brew with a view this morning. So we have decided to take the toll road. There's two roads that you can take. You can take Porlock Hill or you can take the toll road, but we have heard that Porlock Hill has some pretty dodgy roads, so we're taking the safe option. Although I think Ben wanted to take the dodgy option, didn't you?
I did, yeah.
So we've just come through the little toll gate, but there's no one in there at the moment, so there was an honesty box, so we've just paid £5. We're pretty high up here. I reckon we're higher up than last night. Exmoor National Park, although one of the UK's smallish national parks, is still an impressive 267 square feet approximately. It's home to an abundance of wildlife, including red deer and the native ponies, which often roam around, so do be careful if you're driving through. As you can see here, we met a little friend, our pheasant. To a place called Lynton and Lynmouth, which is two places, but it's joined together by a cliff railway. Are we going to go on the cliff railway today?
I reckon we should.
Ben's enjoying these roads, aren't you, mate?
I am indeed.
Love a twisty turny road, don't you?
They need a good steak in there.
How long have you wanted a steak for?
Since yesterday.
But we ruined ourselves with the Greggs, didn't we, on the way yesterday?
Spoiled it.
We did spoil it, so we saved ourselves for tonight. Wow, look at that down there. As you can see, the Exmoor National Park boasts some absolutely stunning landscapes. It's also the start of the South West Coast Path, which is an impressive 630 miles long. There is a lot of twisty turny roads here, and Barney's a bit big, isn't he? So we've put a car park in specifically where we know we can park camper vans for the day. I think it's called Castle Car Park. Castle Heights Car Park. Here it is. Is this it?
Is this it?
No, next one.
Campers,
There is campers in that one as well. So we have parked up in Lynton. The first car park we went to, you can actually stay in overnight, so there were 3 vans already parked there. There was only 3 spaces. But we have come back down to the bottom of the hill, and there's oversized parking. So that's one of the issues we come across when we're parking. You either have to pay for 2 parking spaces in our van, or places like this are normally well equipped, but you do only have a few spaces, so you have to get here nice and early. That's why we've got here, it's before 9 o'clock already. But this place is just beautiful. And we've only just arrived. The sun is beaming down already. It's absolutely lovely. The car park's really well equipped actually. There's a little tea rooms, but we've brought our breakfast with us, so we haven't had breakfast yet. We're going to have breakfast in a minute before we go on a little adventure. So we're sat by a little river at the moment, and then we're going to go off and explore. Interestingly, it's £14 to park your car here for a whole day, but if you're in an oversized vehicle like us, it only costs us £11. Normally we get penalised for being in an oversized vehicle, but actually here it's cheaper. So we're in like a gorge valley, so that's the tea rooms behind us. You can see how far up it goes. Lynton and Lynmouth are actually 2 separate places, but back in Victorian times they built a cliff railway, which is now the highest and steepest water-powered cliff railway in the world. This now joins the 2 together. You can go both ways, or you can go up one way and walk back down the other, which is what we chose to do. This place is absolutely beautiful, and it is known as Little Switzerland due to the hilly landscapes. Taking the cliff railway while you're there is something that you just have to do. Definitely something I would recommend experiencing. It's actually a lot faster than what it looks here, but the views that you get from it are absolutely stunning. I think it cost us around £7 for both of us to do this one way. After a really lovely morning milling around the shop and popping in and out of art galleries, we actually treated ourselves to some art, not something we've ever done before, but you know, every day's a new day. We decided to take the scenic view back down to the bottom. It was a really, really, really steep walk, so if this is something you're going to do, I recommend wearing trainers. Being in the valleys, there are some really impressive gorges where we were. One is the Lynton Gorge. This was right next to the car park where we parked, but it was a £10 per person fee to get inside. We didn't really want to pay this. We are National Trust members, and 2.3 miles away there was a walk called Watersmeet, so we decided to take the short drive up there, park up and spend the afternoon wandering through the valleys. Joys of a big van, forever seeing him backwards. So we have just spent a beautiful morning walking around Lynton and Lynmouth, and now we have decided to come for a walk at a place called Watersmeet, which is about 2.3 miles away. But just a heads up, if you are coming here, it's National Trust, and the first car park, which is National Trust car park, we can actually get our van in it because it's too big, but we've driven about 2 minutes up the road and found this little lay-by where people are parked, and we've got a space there. We actually had a really lovely afternoon just wandering around Watersmeet. The walk took us about an hour. There are a couple of different routes that you can take, and I would advise taking some swimming if you do like wild swimming, because there were some really, really good spots, and we were really gutted we didn't have our swimwear with us. We would definitely take it next time. There is quite a lot of history linked to Watersmeet, and back in Edwardian times, two brothers owned a factory here where they bottled mineral water. Back in the van after a beautiful walk, aren't we?
We certainly are.
I can't show you the walk because Ben banned me from filming anything. Why did you ban me from filming?
Well, I thought you was going to fall off the edge.
Because I'm a bit of a trip hazard, just generally, aren't I? And it was very rocky. So I took some nice photos, but there was no filming taking place. So you'll have to look at photos instead. Now we're heading back to where we started off this morning, to Lynmouth. Is that where we're going? Or Lynton? Which one at the top?
The one at the top.
I think that's Lynton. and then we're going to treat ourselves to dinner tonight, aren't we? He had a camera on his helmet. So we're going to have a nice meal out, which we don't normally do in the van, do we? Normally we eat in the van, but it's a little special trip, isn't it? Because we've been together for 3 years. Made it for 3 years.
Made it for 3 years. How about that, eh?
We're going to celebrate another year of getting through it.
Yep.
We even made it through building a van. That's probably the most stressful thing we've ever done. So we're going to treat ourselves, because it was really lovely where we were earlier, so we're going to find a nice little restaurant and treat ourselves to dinner out. I'm going to have fish, you want a steak?
Yeah, I don't mind either.
And then I think we're going to go and park back up where we were last night, aren't we?
Yep.
Because that was beautiful.
Stoney.
Woke up to sheep and beautiful views. It was quite windy up there though. Oh look, there's still one space there.
We're going to go in there.
Yeah, I reckon. Back where we were.
Need a shop though.
Oh yeah. We paid to park here all day, so we're going to come back here and park again. Do need to find a little shop. I reckon we'll find one down here. First parking pro. It is 6 a.m. It's probably about 10 past 6 now. And I got up to go for a wee. I have to ask because there is a couple of fans here with us. One of them's pop tops. I think they might still be asleep. But one of my most exciting things when we're in the van is trying to catch the sunrises, but I normally just sleep through them. And we've got complete blackout blinds, and we've got a skylight over our bed, and the first thing I do is always whip it open and see if there's like a tinge of orange. And this morning I was like, oh, that looks orange. So I went out, jumped up, went for a wee, opened the curtains, and just was like, wow. It was like waking up in a movie. So I'm at the top of Exmoor National Park. I think we're probably one of the highest points you can get. It's really windy and my hands are like frozen solid. But look at that. The clouds are so fluffy. I almost feel like I'm in the clouds. I mean, it's so high up here. When we got here last night, we were port. And it has been a bit like sleeping in a boat. A bit of a rocky night, but it doesn't bother us. We quite like it. But just look at that. This is why I love that life. Little tiny moments like this that you would never capture. You see things that you would never normally see. You go to places you would never normally go. to Valley of the Rocks this morning, which apparently has mountain goats. I'm looking forward to seeing some goats here.
They're good, wouldn't it?
I was up.
Go, don't we?
Do love a rounding goat. There's loads of vans around here at the moment though. We spent the night on Exmoor National Park, pretty much up in the clouds, weren't we, last night? It was a bit windy, it was a little bit like sleeping on a boat, but it was all good. So we are going to get there nice and bright and early, try and beat the crowds and have our breakfast when we get there. We are nearly at Valley of the Rocks, and I thought I would just tell you what we'd got up to last night. So last night we probably on a previous little clip I would have said that we were coming back to where we were, which was Lynton Lynmouth, which we did, but we were a bit surprised actually. When we got here we went out about 5:30 and no, you couldn't get dinner anywhere. Everywhere either stopped serving at 6 or they weren't serving on a Saturday. We noticed nearly everything was closed, which we were a bit surprised about because it was really quite busy here. So we decided to jump back in the van and head back towards where we were in Porlock, and we remembered that we'd driven past this beautiful little country pub in the middle of nowhere. I think it was called the Blue Bell, I think, and I think we had the best pub grub we have had in a very long time. Both of us had steaks, which Ben's been really desperately waiting for. He just really fancied a steak for ages. So he had a ribeye steak and I had a rump steak, and honestly, cooked to perfection. It was such good food. And I did find out as well that I think, just from looking online, that actually they allow you to stay in their car park. They've got a big gravel car park and I think you can stay there overnight, from what I've read. I didn't actually ask them because we decided we were going to go back up onto the Exmoor Hills because we just loved it when we were there the night before. So yeah, we went out for a really nice dinner, treated ourselves, and well, actually Ben treated me, so we didn't treat ourselves, Ben did treat me, and it was just lovely. Nice to have a night, just the two of us. We haven't done that for a really long time, so really nice to go out for a nice dinner. And then I think we went to bed at like 9:30, so we were shattered. We did like 16,500 steps, but this place is really, like, the hills are so steep, so when you come into Lynton and Lynmouth, all you can smell is people's brakes. We thought it was Barney at first because we were like, oh my god, the brakes stink, but actually every car that drove past you, all you could smell was like burning brakes because the gradients are so high coming down here. I think it's like 25% drops. So a really, really like steep hill. So when you're walking around, again, really steep. My legs felt like they were on fire because we walked down from Lynmouth back down to Lynton. I think that's the way it goes. Might have been the other way around. Because one is at the top, you get the little train up and then you can walk back down. So we got the train up and decided to walk back down. But oh my God, I had my Ugg sandals on and my feet were sliding out of them. So yeah, wear trainers is another tip if you're coming to Lynton and Lynmouth. But yeah, this place is just absolutely beautiful. It's known as Little Switzerland. So you're right in the valley of a gorge, and it's honestly, the scenery is just absolutely stunning. Highly recommend anyone looking for a little weekend away. It's only small little gift shops and things like that, but it's all beautiful river. Loads of nice walks that you can do. There's a National Trust walk that we did yesterday, and I think we're about 1.7 miles, so 6 minutes to go now until we get there. We arrived here super early. I think we were here by 8 o'clock in the morning. There was nobody else there, maybe one other car parked in the car park, which meant that we had the whole place to ourselves, which was just lovely. The sun was really nice. It was a really lovely day, a little bit windy, but the perfect time to visit. I must say, I don't know that I would like to visit in peak times here because it is so narrow as you walk up the cliffs. I think it would be a bit too much. Valley of the Rocks is known for its unique rock formations and it actually dates right back to the Ice Age. It's also famous and home to feral goats. Unfortunately, we didn't actually see any. We did hear some, but didn't actually see any. This place has inspired writers, poets and music for years and years and years, and as soon as you come here, you can totally see why. It's just a very unique experience. Also part of the Southwest Coast Path, which I mentioned earlier. Lying just under the cliffs, you could see lots of lobster pots bobbing around. This really was a refreshing and beautiful early morning walk. As you can see, we are really high up here. I'm not quite sure how high, but you can see from the clouds that we're pretty much level with them. Before heading home today, we decided to head down to another National Trust place called Heddon Mouth. This is a really lovely little cove. It is about a 30-minute walk, but there is a really nice pub at the bottom where you can have breakfast. We had a breakfast in there. It's actually a National Trust pub and it was lovely. Before we went on a nice walk through another gorge to take us down to the cove. However, things did take a little bit of a hairy turn on the way. Are we actually going to get down there?
Well, I can't. I've got no way.
Oh God. Oh, sorry, darling.
This is good. This is not good.
Turn right onto Jose's Lane, then arrive at your destination.
After another really lovely day, it was time to head home, so we decided to take another turning after the tight roads coming down here. This one said no coaches, so we assumed that was going to be fine. Boy, were we wrong. I'm pleased to say we just, and when I say just, made it through. As always, our beautiful adventures have to come to an end, but that just means that we are getting ready for the next one. As always, we are so grateful for you watching. Please like, share and subscribe. We really, really appreciate it. See you next time. Bye.